हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू माय चैनल। लेट्स स्टार्ट फ्रेंड्स। ये वीडियो आम जानिबा FLN कौन, फाउंडेशनल लिटरेसी एंड न्यूमरेसी कौन। तबे प्रथमे जानिबा अंडरस्टैंडिंग फाउंडेशनल लिटरेसी। ए फाउंडेशनल लिटरेसी कौन बुझिबा, तापरे फाउंडेशनल न्यूमरेसी कौन बुझिबा। तबे प्रथमे फाउंडेशनल लिटरेसी पय एक गप अछि, देखि नबा। देखंतु, बीणा एंड राकेश आर इनक्रेडिबली हैप्पी विथ देयर सन उज्जवल स्कूल। तेबे बीणा एवं राकेश रो पुओ उज्जवल, जे कि 6+ years रो। Ujjwal was 6+ years old and studying in first standard in a posh and well-known public school in a large city. Public school बड़ो सहर रे पढ़ुथिला। फर्स्ट स्टैंडर्ड बीणा एवं राकेश used to meet the stern क्लास टीचर once every 2 months। प्रत्येक 2 मासरे भेट होउथिले क्लास टीचर को सहित। केतेबेले ड्यूरिंग PTM पेरेंट टीचर मीटिंग रे एंड वेयर गिवन तांकु दिया जाउथला ए 5 मिनट ब्रीफिंग ऑन उज्जवल्स प्रोग्रेस। उज्जवल प्रोग्रेस रिपोर्ट बा उन्नति रिपोर्ट 5 मिनट रो दिया जाउथला तांकु। By all standards he was doing very well। प्रत्येक स्टैंडर्ड से भलो करुथिला। The school had made Ujjwal such a disciplined, quiet child and who spoke only when spoken to and considered studies more important than playing with his noisy friends in the neighborhood। तेबे उज्जवल गोटे डिसिप्लिन नीरव हिसाब रे थिले, जे हु स्पोक ओनली व्हेन स्पोकन टू, जेतेबेले कहिबार थिला से कहूथिला। एंड कंसीडर स्टडीज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट देन प्लेइंग, खेलिबा ठारू पढ़िबा बहुत गुरुत्वपूर्ण थिला। तापरे बीणा एंड राकेश टुक प्राइड इन द फैक्ट दैट द स्कूल गेव हिम लोड्स ऑफ होमवर्क एवरी डे ऑफ रिपीटेडली प्रैक्टिसाइजिंग राइटिंग लेटर ऑफ द अल्फाबेट। स्कूल तांकु होम टास्क दउथिले, अधिक लोड दउथिले, तेणु से बीणा एवं राकेश गर्व अनुभव करुथिले। गेव हिम लोड्स ऑफ होमवर्क एवरी डे ऑफ रिपीटेडली प्रैक्टिसाइजिंग राइटिंग लेटर। अक्षर लेखिबा पई प्रैक्टिस करिबा पई होमवर्क दुआ हे जाउथिला, अल्फाबेट सबु अक्षर सबु। दे वर कन्विंस्ड दैट he would grow up to have the best handwriting in their family। से माने कन्विंस थिले जे he would grow up to have the best handwriting in their family। तांको फैमिली रे सबुठारु भलो हैंडराइटिंग हेबो बोली से माने कन्विंस थिले बीणा एवं राकेश। One fine day when Ujjwal was in second standard, Beena and Rakesh had to relocate to a smaller town on transfer। तांकर ट्रांसफर होची गुटे छोटो टाउन को आसी चंती। In the new town, Ujjwal was admitted to a new school। से न्यू टाउन रे उज्जवल को एडमिट करा गला गुटे स्कूल रे क्लोज टू देयर हाउस, घर पाखर। that had very basic facility but the teacher appear very warm and friendly। बेसिक फैसिलिटी अच्छी थिला मात्र, किंतु से स्कूल टीचर एपियर होउथिले भेरी वार्म एंड फ्रेंडली, बंधुतापूर्ण भाव रे बिहेव करुथिले। ऑन द थर्ड डे इन स्कूल द क्लास टीचर रिक्वेस्टेड एन ऑडियंस विथ द पेरेंट्स। तृतीय दिन रे क्लास टीचर अनुरोध कले ऑडियंस मानकू पेरेंट्स सहित। सी conversed with them for almost an hour and informed them that Ujjwal is not able to keep pace with the class because he is not able to read। Ujjwal is not able to keep pace with the class सहित पेस समानता रखी पारु नहीं, कहीं कि ना से he is not able to read, पढ़ी पारु नहीं। but he can read and write all letters of the alphabet। alphabet रो सबु लेटर पढ़ी पारुची, एटा said राकेश कहिला। the teacher informed him that at the end of class 1 Ujjwal should have been able to read small sentences। consisting of at least 4-5 simple words in unknown text, so that in class 2 he is able to read unknown text of 8 to 10 sentences with simple words with appropriate speed, that is 30 to 35 words per minute, and clarity. ତେବେ ଟିଚର କହିଲେ ଷ୍ଟାଣ୍ଡାର୍ଡ଼ 1ରେ ସେ 4ଟି ଏବଂ 4ଟି କିମ୍ବା 5ଟି ଅତି ସିମ୍ପଲ୍ ୱାର୍ଡ଼ ଥିବା ସେଣ୍ଟେନ୍ସ ପଢ଼ିବା କଥା, ଯଦ୍ୱାରା ସେକେଣ୍ଡ ଷ୍ଟାଣ୍ଡାର୍ଡ଼ରେ ଏବୁଲ୍ ହୋଇଥାନ୍ତା 8ଟି କିମ୍ବା 10ଟି ବାକ୍ୟ ପଢ଼ିବା ପାଇଁ ଏପ୍ରୋପ୍ରିଏଟ୍ ସ୍ପିଡ଼ରେ, ଯେଉଁଟାକି 30-35 ୱାର୍ଡ଼ସ୍ ପଢ଼ିବ ଗୋଟିଏ ମିନିଟ୍ରେ, ତାହା କହିଲେ। ଦ ପ୍ୟାରେଣ୍ଟସ୍ ଆର୍ ସକ୍ଡ, ସେଇ ପ୍ୟାରେଣ୍ଟସ୍ ମାନେ ସକ୍ଡ ହୋଇଗଲେ ବୀଣା ଏବଂ ରାକେଶ, and did not know what to do next. ତାହା କ'ଣ କରାଯିବ ସେ ଜାଣିପାରିଲେ ନାହିଁ। ଟିଚର told them not to worry, ଟିଚର କହିଲେ ଓରିଡ୍ ହେବାର ଦରକାର ନାହିଁ। inform that she would work separately on usual to make him catch up with the rest of the class, ଟିଚର କହିଲେ ମୁଁ ତାକୁ କ୍ୟାଚଅପ୍ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ସେପାରେଟ୍ କ୍ଲାସ୍ କରିବି। at the end of 3 months, 3 ମାସର ଶେଷରେ ଉଜ୍ଜଳ managed to catch up, and what surprised the parent much more was that Ujjwal had transformed into a happy, playful kid who loved playing with his friends every day and reading a new story book on his own every week. ଏଇଟା ପରିବର୍ତ୍ତନ ହେଲା। Veena and Rakesh have decided to continue to stay in the small town until Ujjwal complete his school education in this wonderful, joyful school. ଏହିପରି ଭାବରେ NEP 2020ର ଇନଷ୍ଟିଟ୍ୟୁସନ୍ ସ୍କୁଲ ହେବ। ଓକେ, ତେବେ ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ the highest priority for the school education system is to achieve universal acquisitions of foundational literacy and numeracy skill at primary level by 2026-27, 2026-27 ସୁଦ୍ଧା ଏହି FLN ସ୍କିଲ୍ ପ୍ରାଇମେରୀ ଲେଭେଲରେ acquire କରିବେ, achieve କରିବେ ପିଲାଏ। The NEP 2020 also highlight that a large portion of students currently in elementary level have not achieved foundational literacy and numeracy. ତେଣୁ NEP 2020 further reiterates that it is imperative to address this crisis head on and immediately, so that basic learning can be accomplished in school and all students may thereby gain the opportunity to obtain an education of quality. ତେବେ FLN ତା ପାଇଁ ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟ ହୋଇଯାଇଛି। ଓକେ, ତେବେ ହ୍ୱାଏ FLN କ'ଣ ପାଇଁ? ଫାଉଣ୍ଡେସନାଲ ଲର୍ଣ୍ଣିଂ ଇଜ ଦ ବେସିସ୍ ଅଫ୍ ଅଲ୍ ଫ୍ୟୁଚର ଲର୍ଣ୍ଣିଂ ଫର୍ ଏ ଚାଇଲ୍ଡ। ଏଇ ଫାଉଣ୍ଡେସନାଲ ଲର୍ଣ୍ଣିଂ ହେଉଛି ସମସ୍ତ ଶିକ୍ଷାର ବେସିସ୍ ଅଟେ। ଫ୍ୟୁଚର ଅଫ୍ ଫର୍ ଏ ଚାଇଲ୍ଡ, not achieving basic foundational skill of being able to read with comprehension, writing and doing basic mathematics operations leaves the child unprepared for the complexities of the curriculum beyond grade 3. Recognizing the importance of early learning, the NEP 2020 states that our highest priority must be to achieve universal FLN in primary schools by 2026-27, 2026-27 ସୁଦ୍ଧା ନ୍ୟାସନାଲ୍ ଏଜୁକେସନ୍ ପଲିସି, ଜାତୀୟ ଶିକ୍ଷା ନୀତିର ପ୍ରାୟୋରିଟି ରହିଛି କିପରି FLN achieve କରିବେ। ତାପରେ the rest of the policy will be largely irrelevant for such a large portion of our students if this most basic learning. ତେବେ ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ definition of literacy and numeracy. UNESCO defines literacy as the ability to identify, understand, interpret, create, communicate, compute, and use printed material associated with varying contexts. Education for All Global Monitoring Report UNESCO 2006 କହୁଛି literacy is more than the ability to read and write. It involves the knowledge, skills, and ability, the competency that enable individuals to think critically, communicate effectively, deal with the change, and solve problem in a variety of contexts to achieve their personal goals, develop their knowledge and potential and participate fully in society. तापरे numeracy रो definitions देखंतु numeracy encompasses the ability to use mathematical understanding and skill to solve problems and meet the demands of day-to-day living in complex social settings. To have this ability, a young person need to be able to think and communicate quantitatively, to make sense of data, to have a special awareness to understand patterns and sequences, and to recognize situations where mathematical reasoning can be applied to solve problems. तेबे लिटरेसी होची खाली पढ़िबा किमा लेखिबा रो क्षमता नुहे ताठरू अधिक अटे। आउ नुमरेसी रे पिला able to think, communicate quantitatively, to make sense of data, to have a spatial awareness, to understand patterns, sequences, and to recognize situations where mathematical reasoning can be applied to solve problems. Tebe, where are literacy and numeracy important? Early literacy and numeracy skills are not only foundational for learning but are correlated with greater quality of life, personal well-being, national stability, prosperity, and critical for educational outcomes in later. Strong literacy and numeracy helps children to learn, experiment, reason, and create, to active and informed citizens, to contribute socially, culturally, and economically. Lack of learning opportunity during the early stage of acquiring literacy and numeracy impede children academics progress and motivation, resulting in further lack of achievement. Vision देखंतु, the vision for foundational literacy and numeracy therefore is to enable children to become independent and engaged readers and writers who are able to transitions from learning to read to reading to learn, and from learning to write to writing for academic success and pleasures. Children demonstrate and an understanding of numbers and knowledge of mathematical concepts, make connections between related ideas, and progressively apply their understanding in new and unfamiliar contexts. To achieve the vision, it is important that we understand the present status of reading and writing among children in the country. Various researches conducted in the country point out that the children are facing a learning crisis. The learning crisis देखंतु NEP 2020 highlight that various governmental as well as the non-governmental survey clearly indicate that at the current time we are in a severe learning crisis with respect to this most basic skill. A large proportion of students, over 5 crore in number, currently in elementary school have not attended FLN, that is the ability to read and comprehend basic text, and the ability to carry out basic additions and subtraction with Indian numericals. Numerous studies show that in the current educational system, once students fall behind on FLN, they tend to maintain flat learning curves for years, perpetually unable to catch up. So many capable students have found themselves in this unfortunate black hole, unable to emerge. For many students, this has become a major reason for not attending school or for dropping out altogether. The NEP 2020 further reiterates that it is imperative to address this crisis head on and immediately, so that basic learning can be accomplished in school and all students may thereby gain the opportunity to obtain an education of quality. Attending FLN for all children must become an immediate national mission. Students along with their school teachers, parents, and communities must be urgently supported and encouraged in every way possible to help carry out these all important target and missions, which indeed forms the basis of all future learning. NEP 2020 has recommended that in order to avoid the learning crisis, there will be an increased focus on FLN and generally on reading, writing, speaking, counting, arithmetic, and mathematical thinking throughout the preparatory and middle school curriculum, with a robust system of continuous formative adaptive assessment to track and thereby individualize and ensure each student's learning. The aim of education will not only be cognitive development but also building character and creating holistic and well-rounded individual equipped with the key 21st century skills. For this assessment in our schooling system will shift from one that is summative and primarily tests rote memorization skill to one that is more regular and formative. The system will be competency based, promote learning and development of children, and test higher order skills such as analysis, critical thinking, and conceptual clarity. Look here, theme FLN, a prerequisite to learning, and ECC. NEP provisions relating to early childhood care and education, the foundational of learning. Here are paragraphs on NEP. Okay. তবে a national mission on FLN will be launched already. It was launched, making learner competent in doing meaningful reading and writing by the time they enter grade 3, developing basic understanding and competency related to numeracy and its related concepts till grade 3, developing skill to amalgamate outside school experiences in classroom learning. This is about or regarding FLN. Thank you friends. Please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon. See you again soon.